Hello, everybody. I'm sorry about so many posts that I've had. I've been having a heck of a time working Canvas. For some reason, I'm running into a bunch of issues that I've never faced before. Um, so, to touch on question one, one thing I noticed was the scenery. The theater um, was indoors rather than something that we see a lot in Greek theater, is it being outdoors with natural acoustics. In this play, it was all indoors with no natural lighting, or they used the choir for their music part of it, and um, they had the stands behind them. So it was very, it was indoors, and I think that this added to the audience experience because it added intimacy between the audience and the performers. I think that's super important when they're discussing a social issue. Um, for question two, two specific examples, I think, is the members, community members, being a part of the play. So this wasn't casted by just a bunch of random people. It was part of the Ferguson community. And this is super important because it shows that integration into the dramatic world, and them being a part of it. And the police officer revealed in the end she was a part of it, which was really cool to see. That I'd say another aspect is the choir bells community. It's just them all singing in unison. I think that kind of shows a sense of community in itself. But to also touch on the Michael Brown story, I think that's important because the choir really showed raw emotion when they sang um, "We Are Covered," and just being by the blood of the Lamb. It showed the raw emotion and the kind of almost cry for help, or not help, but in a sense they were just expressing their emotion, to just really expressing "we are covered," and really putting so much emphasis on that fear, in a sense, like that they were just really addressing that issue, and I think that was super important. To go to question three, one thing I noticed was them reading out of the scripts. I really didn't understand this at first, but as I looked into it, I learned that it's to put emphasis on the meaning of the message that they're talking about, rather than um, rather than the entertainment aspect of the play as a whole. And just that's yeah. So that's what I learned with that new information. Identity. I think identity is shaped by the people. I think uh, Antigone and Ferguson revealed that identity is shaped by the people around you and your morals. So loyalty was something we saw a lot here. Power can be destructive and misleading, which was super prominent and super destructive throughout this play. And then politics can be unjust. You have to be careful who is in power. Politics is a big part of power. I think that you have to be very careful when it comes to your politics and power. Um, and then two questions I like to ask. Oh wait, sorry. Um, how does the chorus, so the choir functions the chorus here? I think that adds meaning because it shows, again, that raw emotion. A lot of um, a lot of feelings going into it, talking about the social issue and the injustice, and just the whole play and plot as a whole. The choir did a great job at really adding emphasis in those areas. Two questions I'd like to ask my peers are did you guys like the singing in the middle? And more than just do you like it, how do you think it added value, the singing in the middle specifically, to the conversations that are happening on stage? And then another question is, did you guys, how did you guys feel that the lighting and scenery added value to the conversations? When I say lighting and scenery, not just like the setting, but of the play itself, but the lighting when it comes to, they just sat down when they weren't talking, they stood up when they were talking, and the lighting when they were talking. There wasn't much movement there, and I just wanted to hear some opinions on what you guys thought and how that added value to the play. Thank you.